tell you'll have some new stories tonight.
Fellow explorer. I'm Grand Bronzebeard, the League's founder. I've got a lead on the headpiece of the staff. It's somewhere here in Uldaman. Uldaman's infested with trogs. We'll have to fight through them to reach the headpiece.
Valera versus Scarvash.
Uldaman for frogs only!
Watch your back.
I command.
Scarvash was a wee trog last I was here. Now he's bigger, stupider, and uglier.
Trog no stupid! Trog make you stupid!
Here we go.
Job's done.
Trog no stupid!
Here we go.
Trogzor! Trogzor!
Fascinating. These mithril runes contain Guardian code. They must date back to the Titans.
Focus, Bran.
Here we go.
with Tusker.
Here we go.
Valera versus Scarvash.
Full demand for frogs only!
Watch your back.
The legions I command.
Job's done.
This is our town.
I go? Yeah, big.
Job's done.
Charge roar!
Tadingo! Yes. A tango? Ancient curse. A tango?
Wait! I enjoy raiding!
Man! A tango?
None may steal our secrets.
Don't mess with Tusker.
The makers!
A tango?
The fire
go.
We are the sword in the shadows. Trogzor! Trogzor!
Buy one!
Shadow strike.
This way! Up in the minecart! This mine shaft leads straight to the center of Uldaman. Watch out, we're being chased!
Wait.
Fly, Ginny!
Wait. Wait.
Bouncing bomb! That'll teach him!
Job's done.
Mr. the Crocs! Come on, get there! Ha-ha! Riding carts and throwing bombs! This is a blast! A little gizzard gum and it's good as new!
Job's done.
Oh, be careful with that stuff! You took out a chunk of the track! giant Arcadis has got the headpiece, but he won't give it up without a fight.
Valera versus Arcadis!
Who dares the wrath of the Makers?
Watch your back.
The legions I command.
A servant of the ancient Titans. Oh, the stories he could tell us.
If he weren't too busy burying you in stone.
Here we go.
Earth and stone, awaken!
Here we go.
A tango?
Here we go.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Here we go.
None may steal our secrets.
Here we go.
Gadgets and Gazette always getting to speak.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I will bury you.
Here we go.
Trapzor! Trapzor!
You call that a weapon?
A glorious invention.
They'll never know what hit. Here we go.
Fascinating time!
in peace. My plan is nearly complete. Malfurion versus Scarvash!
Full demand for frogs only!
I must protect the wild.
Job done.
Frogs rule! Drag no stupid!
For the wilds. Job done.
Unleash the beast!
None may steal our secrets.
Nature strikes!
For the wilds. Job done.
ancient curse.
For the cons!
Three short. Can't really do anything else here. What are you going to do here if you're a green sheep? I mean, I guess you have to play to the best percentages of your outs. But he has to also kind of wonder if it's worth, like, for example, taking out this Finley. It's just not, though. I think you have to just rush damage and hope your opponent doesn't have it. And that's what ends up being the end game. Like, this is turn 7, it's the late game.
I wonder if green sheep ever just plays Reaper and just says go. Like, if he plays Reaper and says go, there's no active Mortal Strike, and next turn he represents lethal.
Oh, interesting. You mean, so just basically don't do a single point of
deal no damage to your opponent, but he does not. He deals the damage, and that means Pavel has the damage. Mortal Strike, Heroic Strike, finish off green sheep. And we see a bit of a shake of the head from green sheep. He's thinking,
he knows.
Could I have done this differently? You know,
he
gave him the window for lethal there. He didn't have the ability to kill him that turn, but he could have recognized you're at 13. You can't do the 1 damage yourself with your hero power, for instance, and still cast both those spells. So green sheep had the ability to just kind of sit back, equip a Reaper, and then have Reaper Leroy potentially the following turn. We did see that Pavel drew Dread Corsair, so it may have mucked everything up anyway.
Well, actually, he did have the ability to ping himself.
Right, but he didn't have the mana to cast.
But he didn't have the mana to do it.
Correct.
So it's one of those things where he didn't have enough mana to actually have all those options available to him. So that's a really good observation, Kibler, and I think if we were to go back and evaluate it, those players would probably even agree with you, because but at the same time, double Heroic Strike, how likely is that usually in... I mean, obviously, if you're on ladder and you need to hit Legend and you're at rank 1 5 stars, of course he has 2 Mortal Strikes.
They always do.
In this instance specifically, how likely is that to happen?
It was interesting. Pavel actually debated between using Mortal Strike and using his Core Curly more. And there's an argument to say that he should use Mortal Strike to make his opponent think he's less likely to have Mortal Strike. Because all that matters is if he gets 1 Mortal Strike and a Heroic Strike off. So if he's just like, okay, I'm going to cast Mortal Strike rather than Corcoran, because it makes you think I'm not likely to have a second.
That's brilliant.
Several levels going on there in terms of the evaluation of that play, but it will be Pavel up 2 games to 0. We've called him the comeback kid. He's in the lead by a lot.
Yeah, and maybe this is an opportunity for Green Sheep to come back with his signature rogue of the playoffs. This rogue has definitely been one of the surprising decks, but look at that card Shatter. That's not going to be very useful unless Shaku can pair something nice with it.
And Pavel recognizing, okay, I just need to stem the bleeding as much as I can. This is a very different matchup than against typical rogue decks, typical Miracle decks. Oftentimes against Miracle decks, you can't really afford to use a lot of your early resources to deal with the early aggression quite the same way, because you have to have tools to deal with their mid game. Green Sheep doesn't have the same sort of combo potential, so Pavel's just trying to stem the bleeding as fast as he can.
All right, well, let's see if Shaco can collect anything worthwhile. This matchup might actually end up becoming an important resource to get reach. You know, a lot of times with Reno Mage, you can put on the pressure, they will stabilize eventually, but do you have that extended reach? And Rogue is not necessarily always known for their reach. You know, they do have some bursts like Eviscerate and Cold Bloods, but you need a little bit more. And
there's some reach.
That is definitely some reach. Well, that is reach with an asterisk on it, because greater arcane missiles, they can also hit minis. So you have to be really cautious about just, you know, the timing when you...
Yeah, and Pavel is going to be able to take out Shaku. So no more additional value for Green Sheep, and Polymorph shutting down the Tomb Pillager. So right now, Green Sheep, he's got no real damage on the board.
Traditionally against Miracle Rogue, Polymorph is probably the most important keep that you have in the early stage of the game, because Edwin Van Cleef from Questing Adventure, even Tomb Pillager, you know, Gadgeting Auctioneer, the list goes on and on. And in this matchup, I think it's also just important because the Rogue really needs to capitalize on that coin to get those combos out in order to squeeze out the tempo. And right now, Green Sheep's aggression is a little bit weak. It's just going to get picked apart by all these small little removal pieces, like Arcane Blast here, Forgotten Torch there.
And we even see the Brand plus Earthen Ring Farseer in Pavel's hand. So lots of tools to help pick up his health if it gets low.
Yeah, I gotta say that at first I wasn't exactly sure about the Earthen Ring Farseer, but you know, upon seeing it in practice, it's come up pretty clutch a few times. So that's a small deviation from the Reno Mage that paid off huge dividends for Paddle this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like he's actually not going to play the Blast, just using the weapon.
Okay.
This does help to reduce the impact of the Buccaneer, constrains Green Sheep's mana. Green Sheep really wanted to play Azure Drake this turn, but it makes it a lot more awkward in terms of the power of his Buccaneer.
Right. Not to mention, in addition, that he can save Arcane Blast with his Blood Mage Town. So, and he knows that 4 health is a pretty crucial breaking point for a lot of health on the minions of Rogue.
Yeah, another minion picked up here that he'd love to have a weapon to play for. That obviously that would be even more damage adding up, but Pavel has just stemmed the bleeding pretty much entirely.
Certainly, and you look at Green Sheep's hand, he's got some damage, but he's also got some awkwardness. Azure Drake's probably going to have to fish for something a little bit more. But Green Sheep has a lot of burst, though. Look at that, Leroy and Shadow Step working together, and he has pulled it off even just earlier in this playoffs.
It's true. We saw him with huge burst damage to defeat Shanadachi earlier.
Yeah, so, you know, I think you might be a little bit discouraged if you're Green Sheep. You're like, man, I just can't get any footing on the board. But
they're 28.
Yeah.
You have nothing in play.
I think you have to still just play this Drake, dig deeper into your deck. And you still have all of these, you know, weird cards that could maybe put together some semblance of a board. You know, Swashbuckler could still dig into the mage and maybe pick up something useful. Even if it's, you know, something silly like Cone of Cold, it still actually combos with Shatter, and it helps you stall for board in case you want to start pushing for the face damage and accelerating the board depth.
Yep, Pavel, though, except for Fresh Defender, even more healing, and he wants to just play the Doomsayer and deny Green Sheep a board entirely. That's what he's going to do, and we are getting to the very late stage of the game. That's when the Reno Mage is so powerful. It has such strong late game. Green Sheep's deck is built to close out quickly. This has not been a quick game.
No, in fact, the game should be over in most cases, but Reno Mage is pretty much just relatively unharmed here. Green Sheep is going to go for a Leroy play and just Shadow Step it, so while he can collect that value and just don't feel like he loses too much by the Doomsayer, because, you know, the Doomsayer, the loss of tempo that you have is huge. You know, you give your opponent an opportunity for a very clean turn 8. You know, for example, if Pavel wanted to just play here with the Refreshment Vendor,
the healing never ends. He plays 2 minions, one Refreshment Vendor, the other one's Brand. Back up to 29.
And it's interesting to see that Reno Mage is the one with like a lot more resources right now.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Rogue's got 8 cards in the hand.
But though many of them don't do that much. There's Shatter, you know, there's the... It's true. All right, Greater Arcane Missiles, just looking to either get some damage in or clear this board. He does not take out Brand, which was definitely part of his goal there. And he attacked into it first.
Yeah, I mean, he has the availability of removing it now. Looks like he's debating if he wants to remove the Refreshment Vendor, but Brand seems to be the bigger threat.
Well, he's already attacked. He already attacked with his weapon, so he can't remove the Brand.
You are correct.
And he's debating, okay, can I just get this damage in? Can I try and win this game? Through board presence, decides that's not going to happen.
Right. So, is your Pavel, are you really afraid of anything?
Flame Strike here for Pavel.
Oh my goodness,
Clears out the Leroy, the Brand getting both minions from Green Sheep's hand. He has 2 stranded Cold Bloods, an Arcane Explosion, and a Shatter. Pavel's still at 21 life.
Yeah, at this point, Green Sheep wishes he had a Gradsand Auctioneer in his deck, but he's got nothing else really going for him. And, you know, the fact that Pavel's going to be able to have Archmage and Tinnitus on the board, uncontested, this late into the game, just means that there's really nothing much that Green Sheep could do. He's using all of his resources defensively.
This is pretty much checkmate here from Pavel.
As if he needed any more help.
Not only does he have the Antonitis that is going to stick, he picks up Reno Jackson. He doesn't need the help, but it's there anyway.
And so, looks like we're coming up on the close of the series here. Pavel doesn't really need anything more to seal his victory, and this would equivocate to a 3-0 sweep over Green Sheep.
Green Sheep's fighting back. He's killing the Antonitis. It does die, but he has a Shatter in hand as a rogue.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been in this position where it just feels like we've gotten useless cards from our opponent's class. What else does Pavel really need?
The Rubin
here?
Reno.
Yeah.
And Green Sheep sends out the well played. He will concede, and Pavel is the Europe Winter Champion.
What a great story to just see Pavel come back from BlizzCon and just not really get complacent. I think a lot of tournament winners, you know, when they feel like they've hit the mountain, they can just take it easy for a while. You know, I don't need to like grind as hard on the ladder. I don't really need to do very much in tournaments. I don't even need to prepare much. I'm just gonna try to play, take it easy. But Pavel comes back, wins another tournament, and he's going to the Bahamas as the championship #1 seed for Europe. The strongest region currently in Hearthstone.
Does he just wear both championship belts? Like, how does...
Job done.
Wait.
Full speed ahead!
Job done.
Wait.
We've got the first piece. Now we gotta get out of here before we get squished.
Valera versus the Collapsing Temple!
Watch your back.
The legions I command.
Collapsing ceiling and monsters everywhere. Hurry up!
What you looking at?
Hey, a glowing pool. Wanna check it out?
You don't have time for that.
Don't mess with Tusk.
Hey, a bit of spikes. Hey, nice. Almost as smooth as me.
Here we go.
That boulder's huge. Get out of the way!
Not remove the rod.
target.